the biscuit, taste the pain. 3 years running, second place again. We used to lead, now we just chase. Didn't even touch first this time, what a waste. Don't touch that soccer sauce. He's Limp Bizkit, smooth but still no boss. 5 years dry, no shiny prize, just pretty passes and Twitter cries. Taste the biscuit, taste the bluff. It's all clean boots, but not enough. Arteta talks like we're built to win, but silverware's allergic to the North London grin. We brought win the dog, but we lose even more. 3 times second, never the king. And this year, we didn't even lead a thing. Same TikTok reels, same post-match tears, same false dawns for 5 long years. From invincible pride to annual pain, we chase our tail like it's part of the game. Limp Bizkit fence, fans still cheer, but the empty cabinet echoes loud and clear. Taste the biscuit, taste the drought. We talk the loudest, but still missed out. Stinker and hooked. Taste the biscuit, taste the pain. 3 years running.
Second place again. Oh, what a banger. What an absolute banger. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Free win. Hey, shut up, win the dog. Big up to everyone locked in, guys. We already have 200 people in here. We ain't even started the stream yet. Thank you for 50.7k. The road to 51k continues, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach a massive transfer window. Joining me, first and foremost, you guys are all losers anyway. Like, literally, none of your clubs won. The least embarrassing loss is away at St. James's Park. Hi, Andrew. How you doing, mate?
That is my new favourite song. I don't know where it is. That is a banging tune. I love that song.
It's a banger as well, right?
It's amazing. I don't know. Amazing. But yeah, good to be here. Big up to the chat. One of my favourite, if not my favourite chats. Always welcoming.
Toxic.
So it's all good. Road to get this guy to 55 to 60 to 70 to 75. Let's go. 100k by this time next year. 100k. Let's do this.
I'm gonna get my plaque before Arsenal win a Premier League. Imagine.
Oh well, well that's of course. I mean, you might as well just take it. You might as well okay. Get into a million. At least to give Arsenal a chance or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. Come on. Big up to you, Andrew. Big up to you. Joining us next, you get me rapping Man United, biggest fan of Garnacho on the planet. 24/7 defending Garnacho and Bruno. That's what he's been doing on this platform. Hi, Cam.
It's just a lie. That's just a lie. I am the biggest Bruno fan on the planet. Sure, you can say that, but Garnacho, come on, man. I was counting the money when Chelsea were about to buy him. I was ready. So
60 million. Can't believe they
60
dropped
million.
60 M's.
You know, I'll take 50. I'll take 40 in the summer. Like, you know, it was worth keeping him around for the 3 goals he scored since then. Yeah. Hey, and we may not be a loser come a week from now. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, we're all Spurs fans. Come on, man. Big up. This is a Spurs channel for the next week. Let's go. Speaking of Spurs, we got 2 spicy Spurs representatives.
Also, where did you find that song? That's wild. That's like the UK Southern American mix there, like I guess it's AI generated, but that's wild. I was listening. I was like, who did this?
Hey, best country song 2025. Let's go. Taste the biscuit. Feet Arsenal Football Club. Joining us first and foremost, you guys have seen him before on the title race videos. You guys have seen him before multiple different times. You get me always repping Arsenal. Absolutely loves Mikel Arteta. Hi, Max.
Whoa. You gotta calm down. It was going well. It was going so well until you spoke about my love for Mikel Arteta. But big up to everyone. And yeah, we're here to talk football. And that's a great song, by the way, as well. Even I can't hate it. I can't hate this song.
Yeah, it's a banger. Like, you can't hate a banger. You can never hate on a banger. That's the thing. Elite banger right there. Big up to you, Max. And of course, infamously known for saying, even if Arteta wins the Champions League, I want him gone. Famous last words because they got knocked out by PSG. Hi, Doncy.
Hi, mate. Yeah. You could have started off so nicely, right? Yeah. And then you play that song. And to put the icing on the cake, you said this is a Spurs channel. Bruv. Come on, bruv. Yeah. You can't be
I'm a Liverpool fan, okay? Man United are in the final. You want me to support Man United?
But don't kick us when we're down, man. Here's what I'm saying. Let us be down in peace. You know what I'm saying? I've got idiots like a girl and say at my team, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Allow me, bro. Yeah, just for one stream, please. Yeah,
I think Ken lost the other day. I don't know whose stream it was.
That kind of, I don't really care if Spurs win. I'm more. If I'm being honest, I lean more to them than Man United. If I'm being honest. I know it's bad, but yeah,
I've heard that take a few times.
I can't stand back. I know too many Man United fans.
I've heard that take. Spurs fans. No, the take that I heard is everybody's like, if Spurs win, this is it. It's one time. We ain't got to worry about it for another 20 years. If we win, then realistically, that gives us 1, 2, 3 years straight of winning a decent sized trophy, 2 major trophies in our worst era ever. I'm gonna talk a lot of shit. Like, 17
I can take Man United winning.
Guys, am I lagging out, by the way? I think I'm lagging out a little bit.
Yeah, you dropped
You're good. You jumped in and out, but we just kept talking.
Yeah, I can't take Man United winning. Man United winning doesn't bother me, actually. Tottenham winning now, no. Yeah. I cannot do that. Yeah, I got.
Okay, so why are you mad at me then? Because I can't take Man United winning. Spurs winning doesn't bother me.
Come on, man. Like I said, don't kick us when we're down. You're on top of the tree right now. Just be happy that you're.
Listen, I am very happy. Okay, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I just need Man United kicked. That's what I need. It's not about Arsenal. However, for chaotic value in the universe, it will be absolutely elite if 17th place Spurs win a trophy and you don't. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. It will be elite. Anyway, before we get this party started, big up to Fonzie, says, big up Abdulaziz, my guy. Big up to you. You get me? No, but the Abdulaziz only on Ahwa. Here he's Andrew, innit? That's for a special occasion right there. Big up as well to my guy earlier on, who I have completely lost your super chat. I apologize. The Blue Studio. The Blue Studio, your best bet is probably just adding me on Snapchat. That's the only social media platform I'm on. Message me. Hussam LFC is my Snapchat. You get me? So just message me over there and we'll hopefully get something started. Listen, it's a long summer, bro. I'm gonna need a whole army of people to come here and talk about their clubs.
Bro, why did you choose Snapchat to be the only thing you're stayed on? Just curious. Like, why is that?
Here's the thing, Cam. Different people, different universes, experience different things. Over here, Snapchat's the most popular app.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. See? Even all the celebrities and stuff, they all have Snapchat. So
translation. The world doesn't revolve around North America, Cam. I hear you.
There you go. See? There you go. Let's go. Let's go. Big up to you, my brother. There he is. Appreciate you. Please do message me on Snapchat. Appreciate you. Anyway, 215 people locked in. Not all of these guys have channels. So Doncy doesn't have a channel and Cam doesn't have a channel. You can find Andrew, YouTube prostitute on Casual FC. And you can find Max, Propaganda Machine. It's in the description. Go subscribe, guys, to both of these guys' channels. And speaking of Arsenal, we have to start off with you. Don C, I'm going to give you the mic first. Talk to me just the state of your football club right now.
The state of my football club is that we are bridesmaids again. I don't know what bridesmaid we're going to be. We could be the second place, the third place, the fourth place, or even the fifth place, yeah? Because if we lose our next 2 games, we go from second, we could even end up 6th, yeah? That's the state of my football club. That's the state of my football club, yeah? Like, I can see Surfer thinking about it. We're on 68 points, yeah? 5th place.
I'm just thinking you got Southampton in the
difference.
last game, that's all. Just Southampton,
Yeah.
that's all.
And we've got Newcastle, which we haven't even had a shot on target in 3 games. And then we got Southampton, right? Anything's possible with this with Arsenal Football Club because we got Arteta at the helm. This gaslighting piece of shit. I cannot stand Arteta. He makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, having a hangover is better than having Arteta in my footballing life. Right? He has done nothing for our club. Well, he has done something for our club. He has gaslighted many, and he's took us from 8th to 2nd, which I am grateful for. Right? But it's like me still being grateful for getting punched in the head. Right? You have done nothing of no oomph. He has given us a trophy in our first few years. In his first few months, I should say, he gave us a trophy with someone else's team. And then he got his own team and done nothing. So he's a glorified babysitter. That's what he is. Because he's good with someone else's, but when he has his own, he does what? Fuck all. Yeah? This has shown it. PSG wasn't that great.
Guys, Virgil van Dijk from Wishes here. Big up, Ahmed.
Oh, wow.
Big up, bro.
Sorry, I apologize about the late.
Like, we should have beat them, but did we? No, we didn't. In Arteta style. In Arteta style. We should have bought a striker. We didn't in Arteta style. We bought centre backs. Yeah. And people say we should trust in this. What process is this? Where was Slot's process? Yeah. Where was Slot's process? You could say, well, both of them won things in their first year. And I would say you're a piece of shit for even trying to compare an FA Cup to a Premier League. Yeah. Just remember, this is the team that most people writ off last season. Yeah. I'm talking about Liverpool for you simps out there. And people want to say, what happened to Arsenal? Yeah? So I tell you what happened to Arsenal. Giving a prick of a manager and an extension to a failed, yeah? Because do you know what failure is? Failure is not winning anything, yeah? And if anyone could like contradict me or tell me, look, Don, you're wrong, because you should have faith in this manager. Give me one reason. Because at the end of the season, do you know what's not failure? Winning a title, winning a trophy. Yeah, not saying I won two friggin' charity shields and claiming that as a trophy. Oh my days, this man has. Do you know what? Yeah, we were the banter club of the world of football, of British football. I don't even know what we are anymore. Because we have this man at the helm. Just remember, this is the same dude, yeah, the same dude that said that we lost because of a football. Because of a football, yeah? And people still want to back this dude. I'm surprised that this dude has a job. In my job, I'm a manager, yeah? I've sacked people for less, yeah? For less because of incompetence, yeah? This dude, yeah? This dude, yeah, said we were better than PSG over the 2 games. Yeah, well, I saw the score as, what was it, 3-1? I don't know about other people. And you men are backing this dude. This is your king. Do you know what I say? You not take your king and fuck off. Please, do the rest of us a favor. Do the rest of us good, wholehearted Arsenal fans, yeah, a favor, yeah? We want to be great again with Arteta. I've had man gaslight him, say, yeah, we've had a great season. We've had a great season. I just came back from holiday, yeah, and I'm sitting down, yeah, watching this Liverpool match, right? When it was 2-0 down at the beginning, and man said that we should keep Arteta. How am I arguing with people on holiday, yeah, about Arteta?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you bringing up the holiday thing is killing me.
Like before, you could say, all right, when we came second. The first time 2 seasons ago, you could say, okay, that is progression. I'll take my hat off to that, yeah. But where's the progression now? Where's the progression now? People said, oh, because Saliba was out, that's why we didn't win it. Then they said Timber was out, that's why we didn't win it. What's your reason now? why we didn't win it. Yeah, this is Slot's
Never
first
heard
season.
Yo, the best part about this is
Slot's first
I met
season.
you for
We're
the
gonna say
first
because we didn't
time.
have a striker. Do you know what the difference between us, yeah, and Liverpool? I'm gonna be honest. Is Arteta. Get him the fuck out. Yeah, get this piece, yeah, of manure, yeah, manure that's worthless, that's good for nothing. The fuck out. I said whether Arsenal wins or loses the Champions League, I want him out. Now you lot can see why. Because a performance like this is just around the corner when we have Arteta at the helm. Yeah, Arteta equals Titanic. What happened to the Titanic?
Yo, you're a perfect example.
What do you
of
mean
every-
haters hate? Donsi's an
No, but-
Arsenal fan,
No,
bro.
every black dude has a switch, and this guy's is clearly Arteta because we were talking backstage. I just better be talking about his holidays. He was in great spirits, you know, big, completely, when I say completely different energy, which I respect because I got that too. We all do. And then Arteta came up, and it was like on site. It was like, yo, it didn't matter. Like it was like, yo, I like you say this man's name, and I'm ready to go. That was an incredible switch for me. That just made my whole day, man.
Yeah, but
It's fast, but wow,
it's
that was
passion.
great.
Like, how else are we supposed to feel as Arsenal fans? Seriously,
I've been told if you get rid of Arteta, all the players leave with him. That's what I've heard. I've seen people say
Then
that.
Then
They
let
can
them
leave.
go. Let
They
them
can
go.
leave.
Fuck off as well. Let all of them, the fans, the players, all of them. Seriously, 5 years. Tottenham versus Man United Europa League final. We can't even get there ourselves. We couldn't get there. Arteta, what did Arteta do? Olympiacos bottled it. Olympiacos. Sporting Lisbon bottled it. Unai Emery's Villarreal. Unai Emery's Villarreal dumped us out, and then went on to win their first trophy. This is all under Arteta. Every season, I'm sorry, I'm going on to one now as well. Every season, Arteta, every single season since he's been here, he's played with my emotions. The first season, he won the FA Cup. I thought, yes, so finally, trophies, a young upcoming manager, he might do something. Then the next season, what does he do? He goes 10 games without a win. We're lying in 15th, and then he has to bring Saka, Smith Rowe, and that to save his job. He gets us up to 8th. Somehow he salvages the season. We say, okay, he's new, and that's his first year. Give him his first year. Second year, what does he do again? Plays with our emotions again. He bottles the top 4, and not just bottling top 4 is not good enough for him. What did he do? He sacrifices cups. Nottingham Forest dumped us out. Southampton dumped us out of FA Cup. Brighton, West Ham, League Cup. We're getting dunked out of every competition under Arteta. And then we challenge for a league. We're thinking, oh, we're finally going to win the league. I believe he was going to win the league. We bottled it. We say, okay, he's going for the league in his first. This is his first time challenging. Fair enough. Let's go again next season. Next season comes again. In the biggest moments of our season, what does Arteta do against Unai Emery? He bottles it. He decides to change his tactics, change his team. Havertz in the midfield. Why? And let me not get onto the signings. Why are you signing Havertz? For what? Why you? If he's not good enough for Chelsea, Sterling. Oh my days! And then this season, we get to this season. This season is the most painful season of them all. Because every man and his dog, they were saying, if it's not Man City, it's Arsenal. Where are we now? We're 15 points behind. We had to give a guard of honor. How embarrassing. How shameless. I didn't even watch it. That's how bad it is. I said, I can't do this. I'm not watching this. I'm not putting myself through this. The players didn't show up when it mattered. They didn't show up the whole season. Arteta and his tactics. Where? PSG. Our season is on the line. What does he do? We see Enrique taking off a left back for a striker. What does Arteta do? Okay, I'm going to bring off a right back for a right back. I'm going to bring on Calafiori. This is too much, man. The whole season has been an absolute shambles. The board are a disgrace. They're a disgrace for keeping Arteta. They're a disgrace for the signings. Edu, it was good that he effed off. Thank God for that. But everything this season has been a shambles. And the fans that are happy with this, you fans, you absolute cucks, you fans that back this Arteta guy, bruv, you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Because if you accept this level of failure, I'm telling you now, when your girl is cheating on you, you're going to say the same thing. Oh, no, but we've had a good 5 years together. I don't want to leave. I'll rather you. What if I leave and find someone else and it don't work out? That is how you people sound to me all the time. You call us people negative? No, you're negative. Bruv, I'm done, man. My blood pressure's rising, man.
What do you say? Let me ask a question. Yeah. What do you say to people that have been saying, you've been progressing? There's been some level of improvement. Season 1 season. This has been the first season where, at least under Arteta, there's been some level of regression, right? Do you think? Would you not say? At least they would say is that it's quite unfair on him after just having 1 season of regression that he doesn't deserve another season to actually re-steady the ship. Right.
He's had 5 years.
I understand that, but the argument they would make quite simple is that he's been improving over this 5 years, right? Position-wise, he's improved over this 5 years, barring obviously this season, where obviously
but position doesn't give you trophies, does it? Position
that's
doesn't
fair
give
enough.
you
No,
trophies.
that's fair enough.
And the thing is, if in my eyes, if we had progressed up the league and we won trophies within that, then I could say, okay, I accept that because you know what, even Pep, as great as he is, his first trophy was the Carling Cup at that present time.
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course.
But then after his cup win, we didn't even get past the 3rd round anywhere. Right?
I think the problem is
the progression?
You also had that time where it seemed like, I don't remember who said it, but there was all that conversation around bigger fish to fry.
Yes.
Throwing away trophies, not going after the ones, and just going straight for the league, which was naive because at the end of the day, you just need to win, right?
And how stupid do they look? Because
I agree.
You're a Man United fan, yeah? But guess what? In your last 2 years, you won 2 trophies, yeah? And look at the positions that you fell in, and you're in the final, yeah? In our best years, right? We won cool. And people want to say progression.
Well, the thing that drove me nuts for a long time was I always had to deal with people saying, "Who would you rather be? Wouldn't you rather be in our position, as Arsenal's position, or wouldn't you rather Arteta as your manager?" And all this. I'm like, I mean, I can't really answer that because I got to see how it ends. That's how I've always answered it. It's like, sure, Arteta's definitely playing better football than Eric Ten Hag was and all that, and sure, they were in second and actually it looked like they were challenging. But if you don't win in 10 years. When I look back on these seasons, I'm not going to be like, you know what, I had a lot of fun finishing second. When Jose finished second, I had a lot of fun in that season, but I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember at the end of the day, we didn't win anything. We didn't win the league, but we won trophies with him. And I know what I remember most from Jose's time when he was pissed off being handed the Carabao Cup because we played like shit. That's what I remember. But I think it's because we won a trophy, and I actually remember that moment. So I think the world of fandoms and the way we look at managers and coaches, and I'm dealing with it right now with them. When we get to United, we'll talk about it. But it's everybody has this opinion of my opinion on how you should consume or enjoy your club's success is the only right one. And for me in sport, the only right opinion has always been winning. In football, when there's multiple trophies, because I will always, and I have no shame talking cross sports and different platforms and whatever. I watch the NFL, I watch the NBA, and at the end of the day, you're never going to meet somebody who's a fan of North American sports being like, yeah, well, cool, we won our division. Yeah, cool. No, we want to win a championship. And that's it. And we hold that for years because it's so much harder. Well, in football, and now it's the NBA's introduced a new trophy. So it's yeah, let's try and win that. And the players even said it, hey, it's there for us to win it. So we're going to celebrate it if we win it. None of them came out. Some of them are like, oh, we're still trying to figure it out, but it's there to win. So when there's other trophies on offer, and when in football, we all talk about our grand scheme, all the trophies, it all comes together. You say one, right now, it's Liverpool has surpassed United. Fair, cool, because they've won 1 or 2 more major trophies. And if that shifts in 5 years where we've won 3 or 4, I'm going to say the same thing. But I can't say that on second or third place finishes. I couldn't look back when Liverpool wasn't winning stuff and being like, we picked you to second place. Hey, everybody was shit, but we were like, 15 points away from City the time we finished second. I couldn't turn around and go, hey, but we were second. It's like objectively, not subjectively, every fan, the only thing that should matter is winning trophies in football, because that's what's on offering. We don't tune into the season and say, yeah, I finished second. Yeah, I finished third. I'm in a Champions League spot. I said this the other day. I will not celebrate next year if we finish in a Champions League spot and don't win a trophy. I said, for me, progression next year is finishing in Europe. If we finish sixth, cool, no problem, and we win another trophy, I'm happy with that, cool. But I won't be like, you know what, we didn't win a trophy, but we're in Champions League. You will not hear that.
Yeah, I get it.
That's not why I'm watching. I'm not watching to see my team play in Champions League. I'm watching to see my team win in Champions League, personally. And a lot of people come at me.
Let me just say one thing quickly. Look, here's the thing. I've listened to Doncy and Max on this. Fonzie saying 2 more years and you'll see the full back 11. You're such a fraud. I said the full back 11. Guy had like 5 left backs out there at Anfield, Fonzie. That's actually mad. Guys, let's get the likes up, please. Everyone, please hit the like button and subscribe now. Look, I'll say this. Listening to Don and Max, and I don't feel like anything they're saying is disingenuous. Anything they're saying is like not true or whatever. Because if I'm in your place, I would feel just as frustrated. I'll probably be Arteta out as well. I'll probably be so angry because I just feel like when you support, here's the thing, and I described this way, like on MHF, I think 2 days ago. The problem is Arsenal fans have been watching their club closely for the last, I would say, 4 years, from August until May, for literally nothing. You cannot be starved of anything for 4 years and then be shocked and angry when people are mad, or people are mad at the manager, or people are mad at the players, or people are mad at the ownership. Everyone has the right to be angry. And I think a club like Arsenal Football Club, 4 years, you haven't really won anything. It does get frustrating. And specifically, and we were speaking about this at the start of the stream, if Spurs do go win a Europa League, if Chelsea do go win a Conference League, you can't have a season where it's like City won the FA Cup, Newcastle won the Carabao, Liverpool the league, blah, 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 and then Arsenal's just sat there without anything. And I think that's the issue. That's where this conversation, we have to be like just objective about it. I think Arsenal fans have every right to be angry. And actually, we were having this conversation earlier on as well on Mo's channel when we were talking about Zubimendi. We were talking about kind of like, the future of Arsenal, if you would like. And, George brought up something. He was like, okay, so let's say they do sign like all these players that they need. Let's say they go sign Zubimendi, Gyökeres, whatever. Do you trust Arteta to create a attacking system, a attacking flow that actually allows the team to succeed, even with those signings? Do you trust him to like, okay, now we're going to play this style that helps Gyökeres get 20 league goals, that helps, this guy dictate tempo, that helps this guy do that? And I think that's actually where the issue lies. I think everyone now is entitled to not trust the manager anymore. I think this is completely normal, because you can't keep fighting and win nothing. And, it's funny, Cam's talking about like across sport, type of analogies. This Arsenal thing reminds me of the Houston Rockets with James Harden. Every single time it's like they're so close. Oh, look at the Rockets. Oh, Harden is the MVP. Saka's the best player in the league. Same shit. Harden is the MVP and he's this and he's that. And then they'd come up against the Warriors and then they get slapped. And they'd come up against this team and then they'd get slapped. And then in the end, the Rockets disbanded. And then after the Rockets disbanded and Harden left and blah, 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 they went on like a 4-year losing run. And then it's only till this year where they're back in it and the Warriors knock them out again. So that whole building, I'm not against building. Klopp built. But you could see consistent progression. Progression is not a buzzword, guys. It's real. But I'll give you the example of the Klopp progression. Comes in, first full season, Champions League. Second full season, Champions League. Qualifies for Champions League. Second full season, qualifies for Champions League, reaches Champions League final. Third full season, wins the Champions League. Fourth full season, wins the Premier League. So you can see consistent like winning. And even the years where like the quadruple charge season, after we ended the year on a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup, I was one of the first people who said it's a failure because we should have won like one of the two big things, right? We won like the Prem or the Champs. But still, because you won something, you leave that season at least with a happy memory, you know, of like the Tsimikas penalty against Chelsea, you know, Kepa skying the penalty against us and us winning the Carabao Cup. Yeah, it's not the same as winning the Prem. Yeah, it's not the same as winning the
Great
Champs.
memory.
You know
But
what? You
it's
said something there though.
I always refer to it when, like, because Mo always makes this point. He's like, oh, but it's not a major trophy. Big clubs don't aim to win Carabao Cup. I agree. Yeah, big clubs don't aim to win Carabao Cup, but at least softens the blow. If you're trying to compete for the Olympics all the time, but you're not winning like your national thing, you're not winning your World Cup. You're like, you can try to compete for the Olympics. That's the dream. If you're an athlete, right? You want to win the Olympics.
I
But
disagree.
you also want
I
to
have
win
to
like.
disagree with that though. I would have to disagree.
Mo,
I'll let you go, bro.
real quick,
Yeah.
bro, because like big clubs try to win everything, plain and simple. We try to win everything, and you want to
I
win
hear you.
everything. So, like saying like, "Oh, who cares about the Carabao Cup or whatever?" No, they all care because we use them. We use them to prop our clubs up.
Exactly.
What I was gonna say on progression, where I would have actually agreed with, I would have actually been on the Arteta side, is if Arsenal actually made the Champions League final. If they did, you at the end of the day, as much as you want to banter them for being like, listen, y'all finished second, like whatever, you didn't actually win it. It's like, yeah, but you made it to the Champions League final, which means you did literally progress properly. Like you gave yourself the best absolute chance to win. And I know you, like, Don, it sounds like you don't care if you won or not. But for me, I would at least been able to look at that and say, fair play, Champions League final. The run they had to go up against, the teams they had to take out, Real Madrid, PSG, everybody was saying it like, cool, you took out Real Madrid, but that means nothing if you don't go further with it. And then you went and lost to a team that proved to be better than you and Real Madrid. So it's like you're still too many steps behind to talk about it being progression when we talk about moving up. Because I do think a big final like a Champions League final is something to be like, all right, for a team like Arsenal, we haven't even seen the Champions League for that is something. But you didn't even get that.
I think though that and I count all of our clubs in here, is that our owners, all of them, see success is just being in the Champions League.
American,
You know what I mean? I don't think it's winning it. I think winning anything is a bonus to all these owners. Like, for example, Liverpool. I think winning the league is a massive bonus for Liverpool owners, but staying in the Champions League means more to them than actually winning the league. And you'll probably tell by the next few transfer windows how much they, did you know what I mean? And you can tell by this transfer window, they got a new manager in and didn't buy him anyone apart from a crocked winger. Do you know what I mean? And left his three best players contracts to near the end of the season and didn't get them done. I'm just convinced that Arsenal's owners, Arteta is on point. He's keeping them in Champions League. In Champions League, he is six. They won't ever sack him. They won't. That's success for them owners. Staying in the chat. They were 7 years out of it. They're in it for the third, fourth straight year now. That's why he's got a new contract. He's kept them in the Champions League places. Bonus. Even probably winning it, they would have seen it as a bonus. Staying in Champions League is all that matters to most of these owners, because that's where the big bucks come in, the sponsorships and everything like that. That's all that matters to them. So winning a trophy.
Wouldn't that just mean that Arsenal is just back to the position they were like in the early teams? And I mean, also under Wenger, basically, where
it's worse. Wenger won 3 FA Cups in his last 5
I get that, but realistically, the reason
won nothing.
No, I get that. Well, he's won an FA Cup technically speaking, right? But if I'm being fair to him, right? But I get that. But realistically, though, he is basically just like a modern day version of Wenger, obviously without the trophies, right? Because then that just means he's winning. He may not be winning the FA Cup right now, but he's meeting the expectations that the ownership wants from him.
He's hitting the minimum targets. And that's the thing. I agree with so far. Like it's like Arsenal, like most of the clubs, right? Most of the big six or big five, so I don't celebrate Tottenham as the big six. It's about hitting your minimum target. And your minimum target is to get in and around Champions League. Yeah. You can go out in the first round or the group stages, whatever it is nowadays, the league stage. But as long as you get into it, you get that money. And that's all they care about. You see, the trophies is to stop people around us bantering us. Yeah. That's all trophies is there for. That's for us.
Wenger went 9 years without winning a trophy. But what was the most important thing? He was still 9 years consecutively in the Champions League. Yeah. Always finishing third or fourth. And he kept, even after he won those FA Cups, I know the fans were saying him out, but the board really didn't start until they were left, until they got out of the first season out of the Champions League. Yeah, and then he left after the first season. That was it. That's what I'm saying. They're fine with Arteta. Well, all that rumours that he gets a hand in who are saying who's getting hired at the club. That's what Wenger used to do. Wenger hired his own boss. He hired his own boss. He get paid more than his boss. Do you know what I mean? It's just the same thing. That's what they like at Arsenal. Champions League football and maybe a trophy here and there. That's what the owners look at. Kroenke, Cam will notice. Look at his teams over in the States. One and done. They may challenge again in the meantime.
Denver's an interesting one though with him.
Denver's an interesting one this season.
He's got the best player we've seen in like a very long time, and anybody
big man we've seen in a long time.
He's basically like the phrase. I hate the phrase, but he's like I wouldn't say carry because a few of the players around him have gotten a lot better, like a Gordon and my boy Jamal from Canada. But he's
this
so
season
good.
He was carrying. Yeah,
he's so good that it's very difficult for them to be bad. And in basketball, that matters, right? Like in football, it's different. One player can't just. But in basketball, you can have one.
Like you're always going to be in the playoffs, basically.
He's always going to be in the playoffs. And now we're seeing something no one expected, and he's giving the best team, in my opinion, a run. So Kroenke, he got lucky there. So he didn't. But you're right. When you actually look at the investment, and you look at the fact of the matter is this. So here's the thing, though. Here's one thing, and I'm going to get to now that you brought him up because he did something that he should be doing with Arsenal, but
yes,
I know it's actually pretty funny. It's actually hilarious the difference. And if you're an Arsenal fan and you don't know this, you're going to be enraged. But so Kroenke didn't spend money to keep players that he really needed to run it back because he didn't want to because it was like we could use the youth. We could use the youth. I don't want to go in the luxury tax. There's something called the luxury tax in the NBA, and then there's a second apron, which you got to pay a shit ton of money to stay good. They did it on purpose. He said, "No, I'm not going to do that. We'll try these young kids. None of them are good enough. They all kind of suck." But Joker carried them. Then the coach started to pop off. And when I say pop off, the coach was like, "Hey, yo, this is your fault. Like, you didn't keep the guys I need. These dudes here don't want to work hard." Like, he went like, he
was talking about them not watching tape, man.
Bro, I remember UK style, like, because American coaches don't do it like the UK, where you get like I was shocked when I started watching football and like press. I was like, damn, these coaches say some shit. Like, they just don't hold back. And you get it with American coaches every now and then, but that's a coach that's always on his way out. That's a guy who knows he's on his way out. Malone, no one knew was on his way out. This guy just won a championship. You don't fire that coach in the NBA. In the NBA, it's so hard to win a chip. That coach stays for a long time. Kroenke turned around and said, "You're gone. And so is the GM you've been squabbling with," because they've been squabbling out in public 3 days before. No, sorry, 4 or 5 days, whatever. About a week before the playoffs fucking started. That is instant. We've never seen anything like it. Got rid of the whole top staff and said, "Over to you, rookie coach." Know why? Because two things. He didn't want to risk them being good, and then the backlash of you have to get rid of this guy anyway, because he was always going to get rid of him. So I'm sitting here being like, and it actually was talked about on one of the podcasts I was listening to. They said the Kroenke stick with their coaches. They never do this. So it's funny that he's sticking with a coach who hasn't won anything.
I just think it's difficult.
Fired a coach.
Because he's a yes man.
No,
he's a yes man.
No,
he's a yes man.
Well, not money. He had to pay Mike.
No, but I feel like it's a bit different. I think it's more different when you've probably got maybe the number one player in the world and arguably like a top 10 guy, a potential top 10 guy of all time in this position. Like people can see when your team is like not doing well and not helping that type of guy, particularly when it comes to like basketball, right? I think with football, I think Arteta has just done a good job of stabilizing everything, and maintaining something for the consistency for the last 3 years that. It becomes hard for you when he's meeting your expectations to then be like, you know what, man, let's get this guy out of it because
That's true. But my initial thought though, I always thought that there was 2 ways Arteta would only ever leave Arsenal, is that if he ever fell out of a Champions League place or if he decided to leave the club itself. Now, what's maybe thrown a spanner in that is the new guy Berta coming in. Because right now, there's no links to Arsenal Like, he's got no links to Arsenal in his past. He's got no links to what I can see to Arteta or anyone at the board or anything like that. And then maybe that will be something that will, because I don't know if you noticed, Arteta is very spiky all of a sudden in his interviews. He's very he's biting at a lot of stuff. He's saying ridiculous things like he's the best team in Europe and stuff like that. He never really comes out. He's usually very calm, very boring in his press conferences. He doesn't usually come out, and I don't know whether it's all like it's all basically been too much for him, and he's unleashing.
Probably booze in the stadium as well.
Maybe, but I just think it's one of those. I think you'll start doing what Chelsea fans do this summer and celebrate transfers probably more than doing things on the pitch next season. So, you know.
I think it's more to do with I'll be honest. I feel like the media now is kind of getting onto him now more than ever, because I felt like they felt this was going to be probably the season that he actually won the league, and then also the added fan pressure now, which is like kind of like I think he's feeling more than anything else now. I think it's just like the outside stuff that's like he's starting to feel the heat about, if anything else.
He should do. Like no other manager gets 5 years, like no trophy. Yeah, you won it in the first 6 months, but you've now gone 5 years. When's it gonna end? Like, we're just gonna keep making excuses. Oh, next year we get to the Champions League final, finish second. Progress. The year after, another Champions League final, second, and the Carabao Cup final. Like, when's it gonna stop? People are always gonna make excuses for Arteta, and that's my bugbear. That's the worst thing that I feel that's going on in this fan base. People are just kind of happy to be in and around, and they're too scared. If Arteta leaves, if Arteta leaves, we're gonna go back to the banter era. Right now, this is the worst. Like, this being so close is worse than not even being close. It's worse because it's the hope that's killing you. Every season, you have hope. You have hope at some stages of the season. After Real Madrid, he brought me back. He pulled me in. And then now, I'm done. No more. He ain't breaking my heart again. No more. Finished.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. It's just disgusting. And the thing is, we don't even, like, as fans, we don't even need to banter ourselves. Arteta does that in his press conferences. He's the one that's coming out with these things. Yeah, you got to squeeze some oranges in a glass and all of that. You got to get thieves in the changing room to pickpocket you. We have to have a win. We have to have a dog called Win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like when you're doing these things, that's detrimental to the players. The only way you can do these things and get away with it is if you win. Is if you win something. Because we are in a sport of winning. Not just winning a game, winning a trophy, getting those airs, lifting them up at the end of the season. Yeah, right. It's funny that when people say, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, so why are you an Arsenal fan?" Do you know what? Yeah, I can support my team how I feel like to support my team. Right? If I say to you, I've been over to the Emirates over 500 times, and Old Highbury. That's no difference to someone who are not in a privileged situation. I'm not more or less of a fan than him. It's my opinion, yeah? And in my opinion, yeah, football, yeah, at the end of the season, if you haven't won a trophy, it's a failure. Forget going into a final. No one cares about second place, yeah? Usain Bolt is probably Michael Phelps is probably the most decorated Olympian in history. Can someone name me 5 second place finishes from anyone else? Do you know why? Because no one cares. Yeah, we're not in school.
But that's the sport that people actually do care about the medal placing, and you still
are grown ass adults. If you
you actually do get silver medal,
you are a failure. Let me show you something. If all of us went to an interview and one person got it, everyone else is a failure, right? Yeah. So it's the same in football, yeah? You simps are just too stupid to realize a process is only successful when you win. Yo, Hussam, how long did your process last?
Which one?
This one.
There you go.
A long time.
There you go. No. This one.
A long time.
Okay, you got a new manager, yeah? So how long did Slot's process last?
Oh, direct result. There is
There
no
you go.
That
process.
one's different though. The real process was before that, was the Klopp process. And
Yeah, but then even with a clock process, you could see process.
3
You could
seasons
see
we ended with a
progression.
UCL.
With Arteta,
yeah, but you
it's
also had like the
stagnation.
Brendan
We have hit
Rodgers,
our
the
peak.
Benitez.
Oh
We have
yeah,
hit
yeah.
our
Those were
peak.
horrible times.
Yeah, we have hit our peak, and if anything, yeah, at least with Arsene Wenger, you could at least have said that he didn't spend 750 million. We had to get rid of players every single season for 10 years, right? How much did he really spend? Now, how much does Arteta spend? Yeah, how many strikers did we get?
Yeah.
Nothing, and you call it success. What, finishing second is success. You lot need to get a CAT scan on your head because I think you lot are full.
Yeah, but he's not
Okay.
one striker. He's criminal, man. Not one.
On that note, speaking of failures, let's move on to Man United. Big up to Fonzie, big up to the Blue Studio, big up to everyone locked in. Make sure you guys are liking the video, make sure you guys are subscribing. I do want to talk about Man United. I want to talk about Amorim. I want to talk about yet another loss. All the history, the negative history that Manchester United are making right now. By the way, if things carry on as is, it will be the biggest points difference between Liverpool and Man United since the 1930s. Maybe.
Mhm.
So
I don't care about any of that. None of that matters to me. Like at the
They
end,
are.
like none of
Liverpool
that
are on 83 points. Man United are on 39 points.
Listen, the same way I don't really care about, finishing in the Champions League or all that. Like, I don't care if we finish 17th this year and it ends in a trophy or 16th, as long as the project starts to take form by next year. Because we were always doing this. We got up, we won the Carabao Cup, then we won, the FA Cup, but it was always like, it's coming down. You could feel it. You knew it was happening. And then it did. And we got the new manager in. I'm sensible. I listened to everything he said. I listened to everything Sir Jim said. Can you guys hear my baby? Because if so, I'll just go put headphones in and calm her down. No?
Yeah, we can hear it, but it's okay. It doesn't bother us.
He's Arteta in. You can tell.
Yeah.
He's Arteta in now.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing. Like,
why did you do that?
people. There's just two sides of the coin with United fans right now. There's people who are super upset at the fact that we're even considering keeping Amorim because he's failed so poorly and all that. But it's like you hear the argument, oh, we were 4 points off top when he came in. It's like, yo, there's like 4 games played or whatever. Like, we have no idea what would have happened if we kept Erik ten Hag. Like, you have to look at the underlying statistics that have happened with the team. And the fact that he came in and said, I didn't want to come in now. I wanted to come in the summer. I told them that. They said now or never. So he bet on himself to potentially make us better. He came in. He took I don't know if you've ever looked at somebody's house from the outside and you're like, that's a nice house. I bet you it's nice inside. I bet you, and then you go in and you're like,
I didn't expect this.
This needs some renovations. Like, everything's kind of old and everything's kind of dusty and cracking and just the imperfections. Well, this dude came in, homie came in, and he didn't realize there was mold behind the walls. He didn't realize there was all these issues, and he couldn't fix them. And that's facts. I'm not going to sit here and say Amorim has fixed United because he hasn't. If we win the Europa League, he's already come out and said, the players have come out and said, this isn't a successful season, which I respect, because it's not. All it's done is enable us to do more in the summer, attract better players, hopefully. But even he said he doesn't want players who are coming just to play Champions League. But the fact is, that is going to be an attraction. He's not stupid. So, yes, we suck. We are losing to teams like West Ham and we've lost every team this year. Actually, that's which is crazy. I think it's the first time that's happened where I think we've lost to every team except for the relegation teams. Every team has beaten us.
That's
there's just so many bad records, right? You could go through. I guess Chelsea. Have you beat us? Yeah, you beat us, right?
Last year. But
yeah. Well, I'm expecting you're gonna beat us, and if you don't, oh Lord.
Oh God! If
Lord.
Chelsea don't beat Man United,
Lord, if they don't beat, that's
talk to me quickly about the Europa final. Obviously,
so the Europa final for me.
Here, but
I had big chest on beating Bilbao and Lyon. I wasn't one of those people who said we weren't gonna. Lyon I was a little bit more shaky on. I remember you called me out on that one, but Bilbao I was not shaky at all. I was like, I'm not afraid of one player. Everyone's like, oh, Nico Williams. I'm like, so like, I'm not like, what's like, our defense is good. Like, that's the one thing I'm not worried about is Nico Williams somehow destroying our whole team. So I was very bullish on that. Spurs, I'm not. And here's the reason. I think we'll beat them, but I think we need to be healthy. I think Ahmad needs to play a full 90 minutes. I think we have to be fully healthy, which I know Spurs aren't, but I don't care. Woes them. It's like we need to be healthy to beat them because our team's just not that good. So we have to have all the quality we possibly have at our, like, whatever we can has to be available. Like, we're already losing players. Euro limped off. Like, if Lindelof starts in defense, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, we're good. You know, one of the worst defenders we've seen in the league. But a few things that I think work in our favor is when Spurs beat us, both of the time it was away. One was a 1-0. One was a 4-3 back and forth game. Our team wasn't the same. You had Rashford and all those players in the team. You'll have a lot of people be like, well, Rashford's better than what you have now. Sure, the Rashford playing for Villa is better than what we have now, but the Rashford we had wasn't better than what we have now. So people got to remember the fact that the teams are quite different. And how often does a team even win that many games against any team in a row is going to be very difficult. I think at some point Amorim's going to figure it out. The reason I didn't want to play Spurs, though, is because we suck against the English teams, right? Like, we beat everybody else. If we were up against Lazio or Bodo Glimt, like, I'm literally sitting here saying, that's it. We've won like, I would have no problem. I just got to be a bit realistic in the fact that we have lost to Spurs a bunch and we haven't been great against Prem sides. I do love the fact that Ange is so salty and so angry and so, like, you could just tell he knows he's going. And that type of shit seeps into a team. Like, the way Amorim approached
it hasn't seeped into the team in the Europa League, to be fair, though.
No,
it's
but
exactly what you're suffering from in the Europa League, they're suffering from as well, because here's the thing. Spurs went away to Frankfurt and kept a clean sheet. Spurs and clean sheet in the same statement is insanity in itself. And I'm one of the people who, from the round of 16 against Alkmaar, when I knew the roadmap to the final and everything, I said Spurs will win the Europa League then, and I say it now, and I say it even strongly now, because I need them to win the Europa League.
Well,
because Spurs,
but
yes, and also Spurs offer no threat.
But look,
Spurs are a nobody club. They can win the Europa League, and life.
You said it didn't seep in Europa.
This is what happens if Spurs win the Europa League. If Spurs win Europa League, we just shit on Arsenal for the 3 months in the summer, and we say Spurs won a trophy, Arsenal didn't. And that's it. If United win the Europa League, they get access to a pool of players that they did not have access to before with Champions League football, like a Jokeras and etc. But Spurs offer no threat. Plus, Man United is my biggest rival. I don't need a reason.
No, I hear
but
you.
Even before knowing that you're going to get to the final, I did say Spurs will win it. And I think that Ainge quote is going to be one of the all-timer quotes, ever in sports history. Like, I always win things in my second.
So I think the thing is about
the
Spurs.
It's just so true.
One thing about
by the way,
Spurs,
as I'm speaking, I can see Don's facial expressions change. He's just so mad. He's so mad. I noticed because I'm looking at the screen and I'm speaking, and the more I say it, the more he believes it, and the angrier he gets.
One thing I will say, the only thing I'll say before somebody can jump in is that it hasn't seeped into Spurs his attitude or whatnot in the Europa is because who they were playing. Like, at the end of the day, Leverkusen was the biggest test, but like we're talking like they should have gone up against Lazio. Like, it shouldn't have been Bodo Glimt. Like, they should have had, like, our tests were far tougher. Regardless, we were a better team than all the and so is Spurs on paper. Our tests were far tougher, in my opinion. That's just where I believe that it didn't seep in. But I think, like, him saying when he's like, of course it's important. When's the last time we've won a trophy and stuff like that? Like, but the way Amorim said it was, we're 17th. That's why I can't celebrate and be happy about it. Like, it's not that, like, we have other goals, but we're going to go and try and win it. He's saying this team sucks, and they always have. And now we're about to go into a final. Of course it's important. There is a difference in that approach, in my opinion. And I think if I'm a player sitting there or somebody that's has to go, I'm like, damn, bro, like, do you believe in us?
I think for me, though, it just... I think they've beaten you 3 times, right? If I'm not mistaken, because I did. Yeah, that's the season, right? Yep. Twice in the league, and then once in the quarterfinal in the Carabao Cup, right? I think for me, if you're Ange, I think he himself probably wants to leave the club, and he wants to, and the best way to leave the club with your stocks probably even higher than you've obviously when they came in is that I just think that Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho could never do, and that's bring a trophy home, bro. Right? And even though Mourinho is a bit of asterisk because they never let him play the final. But I just think for me, again, I look at Spurs. I just feel like, man, listen, I know you've had an all-time bad season, obviously in the league, right? But they've also had a real all-time of a bad season too. And you know, sometimes, man, that final drought has to end at some point. Even though it's hard for me to say as a Chelsea fan.
You know, the problem is though. You know, the problem is for both teams. That is an English team. Because they, and someone said it in the chat earlier, they both stink against other Premier League teams. They're rubbish against other Premier League teams.
Just that first thing.
You could see this going.
Penalties,
you could see this going all the way to penalties because both. I will say this though, I don't know if people have noticed, Spurs have played very pragmatic the last two rounds of the Europa League. Very pragmatic, like not what you expect from an Ange style football. That if you watch that, especially that game at Frankfurt, that was the most pragmatic I've ever seen Ange in all his time at Spurs. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the lineups are going to be on Friday because both teams play Friday. So it's going to be interesting to see who they pick 5 days out from a final. But I don't usually do this, obviously, but I think for chaotic purposes, I have to back Spurs to win this trophy because the chaos it would bring. Because Spurs won't do anything going to the Champions League. They won't. They won't do anything. They won't buy any players. They just won't. Whether United will probably go and we'll still do something this summer, but they'll do an extra mile this summer. You know what I mean?
Fear.
Plus, it would just make every other. And can I also say, I really hate this thing about, they don't deserve to be in the Champions League. It's the rules of the competition, bro. Do you know what I mean? If you don't like it, there's plenty of other teams that can knock them out. Or you could be in the Europa League and you could get in the Champions League. You would do the exact same thing. All those teams that would do that, honestly. It's just the style of the competition. If you don't like it, that's just on you. Do better. Tell your team to do better. You know what I mean? Tell your team to do better. But it's going to be fascinating because I really can't pick it. Actually, it really is a.
I can. And the Spurs.
I know you. Yeah.
Oh,
no, I know. I mean, just I know who I want to win.
With the numbers, come on.
Yeah, I know who I want to. I know I want to win for chaos purposes, but I actually can't. Looking at it, neither team is favourite for me. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's both levels of dross.
This is a 50-50.
50-50 level of dross at this moment in time. But I think what is key though is that Maddison's out for Spurs. Madison is out for Spurs. And that is key. And
but it's also not though because they have two midfielders. I forget their names. The African dudes that are like hard runners. Yeah, like to be honest, for me, I'd almost prefer not to play guys who have the guile and the strength and power. Like I'd almost prefer Maddison. But then again, Maddison did open us up quite a bit, so it's like I don't know, pick your poison. I honestly, I just smell fear from all of you, which is beautiful. I love it because you're right. If United do get in the Champions League, all of a sudden, I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, but there'd be nothing more hilarious than if Gyökeres is like, "Oh, y'all in the Champions League now, cool. Let me go reunite with my boy." Yeah, that would, while you spend time chasing Isak for no reason, and then Sesko goes, and then Sesko ends up going to Chelsea, and then Arsenal's like, I guess we're gonna get the lap, which cool. I don't think I want. Like, I'm happy with the lap, but like, if you're Arsenal, you should be getting the best player available, not potentially the third or fourth. And it would be so Arsenal to sit and let us come in, thinking that you had Gyökeres locked up, and have us just swoop in and be like, "Yeah, we can afford you now, so we're gonna bring you and a lap in," or something like that. That would be poetry, because I can see it happening. I really can. I personally don't care like who we get as long as we get a striker because our striker situation is so bad. But if we pip you to any player, any of your teams, that'll be painful because where we're at. like the 16th place team, if they get any player that you've been
I
looking
can't lie,
at,
if Man United get Jokeras over Arsenal, you should just liquidate. Don and Max, I'll be honest, just liquidate.
No,
like,
Just liquidate right
But
then and there.
this is why I
Over.
don't. This is why I'm
Put the
saying-
Woolwich Gunners in the bag, bro. It's over. It's over.
I say it so silently.
It's like one of them ones, like sneaky, you know, like sneaky.
Spurs, do the job.
because you can feel it. You can
No.
feel it.
Can you imagine that, man?
United are
Spurs
winning.
having
Let's
more.
see.
Spurs
Come on,
having
you
more
Don,
European
by the
football
way, just so
heritage
you
than
know,
Arsenal again.
I ain't even lying. Spurs winning is actually better for you. I'm not even lying.
No,
More European heritage, man.
Personally, in my life, no. To tell you why, because Man United are
Shit, what do you
used
say?
to winning.
The thought of
That's the
Spurs
thing.
winning makes
If
me
Man
lag.
United
It's
won,
crazy.
it's nothing to me. If Man United win, it's nothing to me. Bro, I got Spurs in my
Yeah,
family.
fair
Yeah?
enough.
My wife's, some of her family are
That's
Spurs.
why.
Yeah, don't do this to me. Do not do this to me. Yeah, we need that Man United dub. That's what we need. You can take Jokeres, yeah, because you know what? In Arsenal fashion, do you know who we will probably buy on the real? And I'm being realistic. We will probably buy friggin' Rashford because that's what Arsenal does.
To be fair, you should have got him in January.
Yeah.
If you
Am I
got
lying?
him in
Probably got
January, he
Ollie
might have helped you in the
Watkins as
league.
well.
No. Do you know what? I don't want him, yeah. But then instead of Arsenal doing the sensible thing, we will buy Rashford. We need a striker. He loaned Sterling, right? We've seen it over the years. It's boring now. I just don't want Tottenham to win anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything. So please, Man United, yeah? Please, me beg you. You better win this.
You see, I feel like both of us is for the same reason. Yours, your family, mine, family and friends. I can't stand them. So yeah, man. But either way,
Guys, you're not thinking in chess. You're thinking in checkers. That's the problem. If you think in chess for a second, Spurs offer you no threat. They don't.
That as well.
It's just banter. Like all you're gonna get is banter. But
This puts
Man
more
United
pressure on your
can
team.
steal. Man United can steal Jokeras. So play your cards carefully.
Are they getting the lap? So why would they go for your if they get
Well,
the lap?
Oh,
we're-
you
well,
think-
here's
yeah,
the
they're
thing.
getting the lap if they don't get UCL football.
So
man.
here's the thing: Delap has said, which is he's basically said, "I'm waiting to see what happens with." This is what I think. What I've read. I don't know what these people say, but what I've read is he's waiting to see who gets into Champions League, and then it's between Chelsea and United. He's leaning United for good reasons. Like, let's be honest. Like, he'll definitely start. He'll definitely play. Like, he's definitely going to get a lot of playing time for us. And with Chelsea, you're like, you still have the Jackson Spectre, and you don't. I'm just saying, it's still there. It's still there. The Spectre is still there, whether or not you back yourself to play more than it.
No. If we only got the lap, and kept Jackson, he'd start over Jackson.
So,
He'd
but
start
he
over
doesn't know
Jackson.
that. He doesn't know that.
He'd start over him.
So here's the thing: he's saying he's
I know,
waiting to
but
see.
he needs what
After
after
Newcastle,
Sunday's
man,
game.
he's
They need to
guaranteed.
call him. They need to call him. and go, "You're starting."
He's a northerner, so apparently he's from those ends. So he probably has some affiliation and love for United. And
Yeah.
you're right. Would Delap go there if we get Gyökeres? Maybe not. But as a United fan, if we get the better of the two strikers, I don't care. Like, I'm like, I don't like. It is what it is. Like, if we can get both, great.
That's the thing. But I'll be honest with you. I think you can actually get Jokeras with Champions League football. You can. Don't
I
think
think-
about it this way. You're shouting at the Spurs thing because of the family thing. I understand, but you want to know what's going to make you shout week in, week out? Watching Benjamin Sesko at your football club.
Oh god.
Slovenian Darwin Nunes, you ain't ready. I've tried it 3 years. I promise you, it's way more horrendous.
Bro, it doesn't.
I
bother
promise
me.
you, it's horrendous. I know you're thinking about it now. Just walk
No,
with
it
me
doesn't
for a
bother
second.
me.
Just walk
I-
with me.
Hey, Don
Saka
Hassan.
plays a ball in behind every single game. Sesko runs into it and fucking misses. That is literally Nunes for the last 3 years. I
Oh my
promise
God.
you do not
What
want to
if they actually
experience that.
signed Darwin Nunes? Look,
Instead,
right.
they
I
actually
had
signed
Sonogo
Darwin.
at my club. I had
let's fucking
Sonogo.
go. I'd love
You
you
lot
for that.
forget Sonogo. I had Francis Jeffers. I had Benner at my club. Yeah, you lot got to remember.
Shamak.
I've had the worst of the worst of. I don't have a striker at my club. I have a makeshift number 8, not 1 but 2, playing as a number 9. Yeah, come on, it can't get no worse than this. You know what I'm saying?
Champions League winner, man.
You can always get worse,
That's
bro.
it.
You can always get worse. Trust me, man. There's one
Bro,
thing I've learned in
bro.
football.
Bro,
It can always
you
get
lot got
worse.
Jackson. I have Sonogo. I had Sonogo.
Come on, man. You lot allow me.
Yeah, but I've
Have you
also
seen
had
Shabak?
Morata. I've
This is what
also
I'm saying.
had
We've
Lukaku.
had the
So
worst.
listen, it can always get worse. It can always
Bro,
get worse, man.
Bro,
What's
we
that guy,
have
Park
a makeshift
Ji-young?
number 8 playing as a number 9. Not 1, but 2. Come on, man. Let's not do this. We had a striker that said he wasn't a striker. His job is not to score goals. Come on, let's not do this. Yeah?
I can't lie, Aaron, as much as I want to raise them, low-key, Liverpool, like in the Premier League era, we've had really good strikers. I can't lie to you. It's the other positions where we've struggled, but strikers, we've always had like on lock. Fowler, Owen, Torres, Suarez, like Sturridge, even like we've had really good strikers.
Ngog,
Like Firmino,
Ricky
even in the
Lambert.
false
Bro,
nine.
us too. This is like the first time. I mean, like even when Martial, the problem is he was made of biscuits and kept getting hurt. But like
I don't think we've had a striker problem.
Bro, when Lukaku played for us, he scored what 30, 20-something goals that year. Like Martial's been good. Rashford, when he played up top that year for
Zlatan.
Young Ha, put up 20-something goals. Like our striker thing is
Even
been.
Zlatan wasn't that bad.
Zlatan was awesome. Zlatan was like the best. Like Zlatan was the definition of a United striker, where he only scored, I think, around 19 goals. He did get hurt, but he always scored when it mattered. And
Yeah,
like for me,
and he wasn't that bad. People acted like he was that bad. He wasn't. Really
he was great. I loved
Yeah, he
him.
was
So
good.
for us,
He was good.
though,
He was
this
good.
striker thing is
These
a
two clubs, by the way, have had striker problems. Mr. Drogba and Costa over here, and these guys have seen Henry fairs, but other than that, it's been spooky.
Henry,
Still.
Anelka, Ian Wright, Rocky Rollcastle. I've seen them, yeah, but like the new
Okay,
ones,
after
like,
Henry, who have you
Percy
seen?
was
After
decent.
Henry.
The
He
New
was good.
Year's.
You can't lie. Adebayor, Arsenal, he was good.
After Henry. So after Henry, like,
After Henry, it's gone from bad to worse. Well, Van Persie.
that's what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And you
By the
know
way,
what?
people are laughing at Salah not breaking the assist record. Mesut Ozil had 16 assists in 19 games. And then you want to know what happened? Olivier Giroud.
Giroud.
That is what
You know what,
happened.
man?
my
And
friend.
Giroud Walcott.
I will
That
not. No,
20
I will not have
assist
to
thing-
read this.
Giroud was misunderstood, man.
I am
Misunderstood.
convinced
Nah,
wholeheartedly that 20 assist thing is fucking cursed. It is so cursed, it's unbelievable. Salah against Arsenal lays it off to Diaz. He's looking in, the goal is here in front of your face, and he shoots it traya. And then 3 seconds later, he scores from a Soboslai assist. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. He
You're-
gave you
you're
a
right.
tap and you.
You're right, because I think Fabregas was on for
Kevin De
this
Bruyne as well
14-15.
couldn't break it.
Cesc was on for it for 14-15, and then Costa got injured. And Remy
And I
got
know
injured
for a
then
fact
as well.
Salah ain't gonna break it now because the whole team is in fucking Dubai in Atlantis.
He's gonna get.
You wanna know
Gets
what's
a one.
hilarious?
He's
About
gonna
these?
get a
You wanna know
one.
what's hilarious, Andrew? Before Arsenal, Liverpool team practiced one session.
Oh my god.
The guys were in Ibiza between Arsenal and Brighton. They're in Dubai. They're gonna come home Sunday, do one training session, Monday
Yeah.
play, and then they're gonna fly out again. Go another holiday, bro.
Yeah,
I'll be
but
honest with you.
but the
If
problem
I'm
with
an
that is,
Arsenal fan, my head is on Mars. If I'm seeing pictures of Slot in Ibiza dancing and the Liverpool players just dancing in Dubai, my head is so hot. I'll be honest with you. I would be breaking something. Like,
the
I'll be
issue-
breaking
issue though
personal
on
bests
Sunday-
in the gym. I'd be so mad, bro. Honestly, I'll be so mad. Like, how do you leave on game week 36 and fly to Dubai, and the managerial staff fly to Ibiza and they're all dancing, while Arsenal are like, oh, let's train for Newcastle this Sunday. And you know what's funny about Arsenal and Newcastle? And I'm going to make this prediction from now.
Arsenal's problem was
Watch this. I think
gonna
Arsenal
win.
beat Newcastle.
We're
You
gonna
want to know
win
why?
that 3-0.
'Cause this-
That's what I'm saying.
You want to know why Arsenal beat Newcastle? Because this is the one Newcastle game that doesn't matter. You got to beat them.
No pressure.
I promise you.
Love
I
it.
promise you,
talked
Arsenal
about
are
the
beating
defense
Newcastle
dropping
this
to 6
Sunday. I
until
promise
today.
you.
I didn't
I
even realize
promise.
that could be a thing. When you said we could be end of 6, I was like, I guess so, eh? It didn't even hit me because, like, I mean, it's really hard. You'd have to lose the rest of your
They
game.
got
You're not going to lose.
Southampton. They got Southampton. Cam.
Southampton.
They got Southampton last night.
The fact that Arsenal could finish like 4th, maybe, or even 3rd, like that's painful. That's where the biggest indictment should come, because everybody was celebrating challenging. But if you finish 4th, like you, with Liverpool winning the league back in January, there was no challenge. Like, there was a challenge for a few weeks, like a few months you challenged. So that's the part where, and I get it now, I'd be on everybody's necks. I'd be like, you guys are happy that you were in the conversation for a few months, not even like, up until the day come the end of the season, we're looking at Arsenal saying they finished 4th. And if you were to finish 5th, which would be also crazy, it's like you only made Champions League because of the new rules. Because you actually only would, if you finished 5th, you would have only made Champions League because of United and Spurs. That's it.
We can finish 6th. That's what people don't realize.
If you finish 6th, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that has to be that crazy, bro.
You're not gonna
Yeah, the
finish
thing is,
6th,
yeah,
I promise you.
Let's
No
talk about-
pressure. Arsenal is Brazil 1974. Like, just stop
Yeah.
it. Like, it's the reality. It's the reality. I promise you, you're gonna play the sexiest football you've seen all season this Sunday. Watch. I will message you I'm gonna call you on my watch along and tell you when you're 3-0 up against Newcastle. I'm gonna tell you, did I not tell you, don't see that you're gonna slap these guys? You're gonna see. I promise you're gonna play amazing football. I promise you. Watch.
Yeah. The fans are gonna be up for it, man. Newcastle's beaten us 3 times already, like 4 times. If Arteta loses, this is like, how many sackable offenses are there? Losing to a team 4 times in one season, nah, that's just criminal. No goals.
You wanna talk about criminal, Max? Just watch next Wednesday when Tottenham Hotspur lift the Europa League. Oh my God! I will inject that into my veins, into my arteries, into every like blood vessel in my body. I'll just have like plenty of injections. Just inject. Because listen, guys, Spurs, like, for me, mean nothing. Man United means something, so I will need Spurs to beat Man United, right?
Yeah.
But the chaotic value, this platform will be so elite for a period of a week, and it won't even be it's not a United meltdown, because the United fans will say the same shit they've said all season. New manager, need time, blah blah blah. They will have a meltdown, but the Arsenal meltdown is going to be, I promise you, the Arsenal meltdown is going to be so beautiful. Phase 2 Ainge got a Europa League before Phase 6 Arteta. Oh my God, injected into my veins. I cannot wait.
Phase 1 Amorim 6 months in, like it's all
European final.
It's all bit. It'll be Eric Ten Hag, the worst manager in United the last however long, has won 2 trophies. It'll be Amorim coming in, caretaker squad. Like the reason I don't talk too much about the Arteta taking over another team is because Amorim's about to do kind of the same thing. Although he has, if we're going to be fair, sent out half of the favorites. That's the crazy thing. Amorim came in and was like, oh, Ten Hag liked you and you a lot. You all gone. The only ones he's kept are like Delo and Bruno. That's it. Everybody else, he's basically said, like, people don't seem to remember, like, fucking Ahmad wasn't in the team under Eric Ten Hag that much. We were screaming for it, but he wasn't in the team.
For him to play. Yeah.
We were begging for him to play, right? Mainu's the one who's suffering a little bit, but that's more injuries or whatnot. Realistically, like the Rashford who played every game under Eric Ten Hag, even Sancho, who he gave a chance until they got in their beef. Who else did he send out? Antony, bro. All of the Ten Hag like big players that he loved, like Martinez, who we actually all like, got hurt. So all of these Ten Hag players, Amorim's kind of done without. So I'm not. It's a little different than the Arteta thing, where it was like it felt. I think it was, and correct me if I'm wrong. It felt like it was the same team, like it was with Emery's team, and it was like.
But you lot can't get away with this. If you finish 17th and no, like 17th and no, the red line. Nah, you like if this was Real Madrid, AC Milan, Bayern Munich, they'll sack their manager. There's no like what.
And the board and the directors and everyone will go.
I think even at Arsenal, if you finish 17th, the fans are gonna riot. Because can you imagine the banter we'll be getting? I feel like Man United are kind of getting away with this. And
they
Spurs,
are a little bit. I can't lie to you.
We're getting away with it because the Glazers are so shit. Sir Jim has come in and basically people either hate him too or they believe what he said. So it's like we're in a comfy place right now where Sir Jim's came in and said, I didn't buy any of these players. I didn't make these decisions. I'm trying to fix it. I fucked up keeping Eric Ten Hag. Let's move on. Then some people are saying he's clueless. He has to go. So there's a lot of rationalization happening amongst the fan base. We're all kind of agreeing, but in different ways, which is why there's a lot of people. Listen, I was on a space yesterday where dudes are just going off about the fact that Amorim should have made us better than where we're at. And there's no excuse for this. The players, I actually had somebody say they believed that the United squad was a 4th place team. that was a top 4 side. And I'm just like, I can't continue the conversation because the quality in our team is really nowhere near that. But so you're not wrong. There is some rioting happening, but most of the fan base is kind of like, you brought a manager in mid-season. The team was shit anyway. It is what it is. If this were to happen next year, like let's just say by November, we're sitting in 10th or 12th, like that's it. He's got to go. And then everyone be like, we should have got rid of him earlier. But out of the same time, the same thing, they're all saying we need to buy quality and good managers should make quality perform. So this is my opinion. If he starts off poorly next year, but we bought Cunha, we brought Delap, we bought a center midfielder that nobody's heard of because that's probably what's going to happen. We go and get another another wing back, or somebody who could play whatever, multiple pieces. We already have a good defense. I'm not like I think our defense is good. I think like the players in our defense, as long as they're healthy, are pretty good. So, okay, so we'll have some good players, meaning if we bring in a new manager, they should do well. It has nothing to do, right? So that's where I sit on it. Why get rid of him now when you bought him Drogu? He got one player. This guy has one player. I think anybody with a mind, like you would have felt the same way back when Arteta started. If you just bought, I don't know, an El Neni who you sold, but if you bought a player of that talent that came from another league who's never played in the, I just used El Neni as a bad example.
I think we did Pablo Murray and Cedric Suarez. I think.
Yeah, you do like now liken it to Newcastle. Eddie Howe lost every game for what? How many games? And then they're like, I bet. Let's go get you Isaac.
Guimaraes.
Let's go get you Guimaraes. Let's go get you who else was the player they bought? I think Trippier came in that year too.
Botman, Trippier.
Botman and Trippier. And so they went, and then all of a sudden start winning. January happens. Let's go get you Isaac. Let's go get you. And then they win more. Because guess what? The players are better. So I look at my squad and I say, more than half of you can go. I can't then turn around and say the manager has to work magic.
I just think they just brought him in at the wrong time.
Terrible timing. Terrible.
Yeah, the time was just too terrible, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
anyway, Ahmed, I want to start off the next section with you. Big up first of all, everyone locked in. We do have 400 people locked in. Thank you guys so much. You know, all the great guys on the panel have made this a incredibly fun show. The time has actually just passed by. Like I didn't even notice it or feel it. Big up to everyone locked in, guys. We're gonna end off by the Chelsea section. Everyone, please like the video now. Let's just get to 200 likes. It's a calm show. We're having a great time. Let's get 200 likes. How far are you from the biggest club in the country? Man United are 44 points away. Get me?
No.
Arsenal are 15 points
That's
away.
a whole promotion right there, man.
That's a wicked, as a marketer. So I'm people don't know that's my day job is I'm a senior level marketer, you could say. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Like that campaign, when I saw it, I didn't realize it was for multiple clubs. I thought it was just Manchester. Brilliant. Oh,
Yes.
So good.
Yes, right there. See? Boom. Big up to you, Dimitri. Big up. Dimitri is actually the guy that made the Saka video, by the way. The guys watched at the start. He made it. AI edited. He's made the Ray diss track as well. He's made so many different clips. Yeah, he's made the Ray diss track too. He's made so many amazing clips. Big up to you, Dimitri. Big up to you. You deserve praise. You guys seen the Arteta video?
Bloody hell, man.
You should have seen how much that rattled Igal.
Don't do that.
The AI game changed, man.
I promise you really should have seen how much this video rattled Igal. This guy was like, "That's so disrespectful, Hussam. You should never ever disrespect my manager like that." It was just he was so mad. There's a whole clip on my channel, just me cooking Igal. But anyway, speaking of cooking, Ahmed, Chelsea 3 wins and 3 fairs, but then you go away to Newcastle. Jackson cost you lose. Now, bogey team Man United next, and then after that, Forest away. Are you gonna complete the job, or are you gonna be the 1.5 billion blue pound bottle jobs?
You know, I like to hope that we can complete the job. You know, still got to trust the team, still got to have faith in the team to be able to get the job done. I think Friday is going to be such a big and important game against United. Just going there at home and just making sure we win. Obviously, last season we were able to win in a crazy fashion. I'm pretty sure. I know Cam's probably himself remembers that game where and the way it ended between us at home. So I think for me personally, that game is just important itself. And then obviously the pictures surrounding that game, whether they be Newcastle against Arsenal, I think Man City face Bournemouth, isn't it? Again, if I'm not mistaken as well.
Yeah,
Right,
Bournemouth.
just on the Tuesday as well, which is so there's a lot of fixtures surrounding that fixture itself, which are quite crazy, which can work to our benefit. But at the end of the day, we've got to do our job and win against Manchester United. Just like talking a little bit about Newcastle, I think we came initially with the wrong approach in my perspective initially in the game, right? And then what made it worse was then, Bozo Jackson, idiot Jackson, decided, VAR does not exist. And you know what? I'm just gonna decide, oh, hello there, Botman, how you doing, mate? Let's just put an elbow there, to your face. No one's gonna really see that, No one's got a camera on you and cannot see that. We saw that even happen in real time, by the way. We saw that happen in real time. That thing, and he did not think in his head, to not do that. But regardless of just Jackson and me speaking about him, I'm done with that player. I don't really have anything else really to say about him. Just I look at Friday 8 p.m. Just got to finish that, man. You got to win that game. I don't care what United team comes in front of me. From a Chelsea perspective, bro, you just got to win that game, bro. That's what it comes down to. I'm pretty sure Saf would agree with me in that one.
Do you believe, Ahmed, you are going to finish in the top 5? Because you have a big chance.
Yes, I still think we can. I still got to believe, bro.
I think you're going to get it over the line too, but I think you need to get something this Friday. You can't let
You
it
have
be
to
just
win. No, you just have to win
if
this.
you lose against United, it's done.
It's done, exactly. You just got to win.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, guys. Bogey team is a real thing. I'm not making shit up. Everyone on this panel has a bogey team. Where are we going with this?
But I
Bro,
think
West Brom was our bogey
we
team.
wanna hope-
We've had like Crystal Palace as our bogey team for some time. Like,
you know what I'll say
sometimes-
to you. But you know what I'll say
Go
to you, Sam, bro. Yeah.
Go on.
I think the one thing you want to hope is that obviously last season we were able to finally beat them at home. You want to hope that you can continue that in some way, form or fashion again, innit? That's what you got to hope, man. That the cycle's been broken on some level.
Listen, you could be right, and to be honest with you, Chelsea winning is good for me because I still have 1% hope that Newcastle don't make top 5. Inshallah, they don't make top 5. But yeah, that's fact because Forest are ass. So yeah,
They might not as well, because Everton, last game of the season, I think Everton's Newcastle's bogey side as well, didn't they? Draw 0-0 at the so Newcastle.
I think they have too
there's a lot of
many
teams.
I think that
City.
team has too many great, not great players, too many good players who know what's at stake to look at Everton and not
Newcastle, you mean?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to lose to Newcastle. I think they've won their trophy, so they're happy about that. But they also know what's important and what's coming up next. And I just can't see them dropping.
And then you got Man City. City have Bournemouth, who are going for the conference. Bournemouth are a dangerous side, and then the last game of the season.
I think City will get it over the line. I think City are over the line.
City always does.
All I'm gonna say is no one, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Man City, none of you are winning both games. It's going to the last.
Okay,
game.
but so who's getting into Europe for you then?
Aston Villa are getting
And who?
into Europe.
And who?
The thing is, Aston Villa faced the two teams that we've just been cooking in United and Tottenham, by the way. So which is something to think about.
And Chelsea. I think Newcastle are missing out, man.
I think it's Newcastle and City.
Yeah. There we go.
Because I do think you're going to lose this Friday. I'm just being honest. Like I actually think we're going to do the most united thing ever. And if you look at what we've done this year, City, we beat. Liverpool, we weren't supposed to beat. We beat them. We dropped game to West Ham, and we're going to show up on Friday, and it's going to be hilarious.
By the way, guys, Sunderland literally just scored the header in the 123rd minute against Coventry.
The playoffs, right?
Why are you celebrating against your former manager?
Oh, and for the basketball
You're such a vindictive fucking
Jason
fraud.
Tatum officially tore his.
There's no way you're celebrating that. There's no way you're
Yeah,
celebrating that.
for any basketball fan that just came out, officially Jason Tatum is sidelined for a long time.
Well, we wish him a speedy recovery, but Nixon 5 anyway, even if he was there.
I agree, but now he's gone all season next season. Tore his Achilles. That's it. That's the whole season.
It's finito.
Hey, JB, you're going to play them next year, mate. Don't worry. Big up to you. JB's a Leicester fan. Big up to you. JB's a Leicester fan. he had a child recently. Congratulations to you again. And I told him he watches my channel so much, his child is gonna be a Liverpool fan. He came back to me a week ago and he's like, my child falls asleep to your video. I'm like, nah, yeah, 100%. He's gonna be like a Liverpool fan. Like, put a stamp on it, 100%. Andrew, why quiet, mate? Want fucking red carpet? Talk about your club? Did you lag out just now? Andrew,
He's lagged out. He's lagged
Yeah,
out.
he's got
screenshot, chat. Screenshot, send it to me. Let's go. So, does everyone here think Chelsea make top 5? Full time.
I don't think they make top
No.
5.
No.
I think they get knocked out. The thing is, I think Aston Villa might do it because they have to play Tottenham and Man United. Both of them are looking at Europa, right? Both of them don't want any of their players to be injured. Yeah, so I think they might just sneak through the back door.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think it's because we're not going to win both games. It's just never going to happen. So I think we're going to win the Chelsea game and then we're going to lose to Villa.
Yeah.
I think that, or we're going to draw Chelsea. Regardless, I think we get something from the Chelsea game. And I think we play a stronger team against the Chelsea game because we need to make sure guys are rolling, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's it. Then the next week, we full on rotation. Because we play Chelsea Friday.
You pick then after
Friday,
the final,
PM, yeah.
you play
Sunday.
Villa. So
Yeah.
And then
might be
after the
drunk.
final, we play Villa, right?
You
Yeah,
might
so
be
we're not
drunk.
going to give a no matter what happens, we are not going to
What is the final?
Amorim's going to look at everybody and go,
Wednesday.
you're gone next year.
Really?
You're gone next year. You're gone. No one's going to care. So and it's not one of those, oh, no one cares, so we play better. It's going to be, you'll be able to see it on the pitch. No one's going to care.
Yeah. Facts.
But wait, if you play the final this upcoming one, obviously next week Wednesday, obviously.
Jack, why are we cussing out?
Would you not
Kobe
be
back?
playing a weaker side against us?
No, we play you Friday.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. Sorry, yeah, I'm
We play you Friday before the
Yeah.
final. So a lot of
okay,
people
fair
think we'll rotate
5
heavy
days
to avoid
before, yeah.
injury. I think we will, but I still think we have to get guys up to like an Ahmed is going to play.
Okay,
Like you're
fair
going to play
enough,
Ahmad. You're going to play. I think you're going to play against Bruno. Like Bruno, I don't think sits this time. I think he rested last week. I don't think he rests this week.
All right,
So I think he plays. So I think you're going to play some of the better players that we have. And I just think they're going to see Chelsea and be like, we need to get some momentum, beat Chelsea. Then you feel real good about that Spurs game.
Yeah, man. I don't
Just
trust
to point out
anyone.
something to Jack quickly. You said hold that Joby Bellingham. He plays for Sunderland, mate. So
yeah, he literally plays.
it's
for
through to the fucking final, bro. Come
Yeah.
on, Jack. Why are we hating on Joby? It's Jude we need to be hating on. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
But you know, yeah, Aston Villa, Unai Emery is known to bottle things as well. We done it at Arsenal. We see it firsthand. 2 games to go. He bottled against Palace and Brighton. So I won't be surprised if they draw both games against Man United and Tottenham. I won't be surprised, man.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Possibly.
interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, let me just read this this one before we get out of here. Big up to everyone locked in. Big up to JB who says, greatest week for Leicester in a while. Derby still historically bad. Forest dreams die and Coventry don't make Wembley. Unbelievable, Jeff. The trifecta, you get me? Trifecta of unbelievable results. It's amazing. I feel so happy for you, JB, because I personally know you, so I appreciate the fact that you're happy. Anyway, guys, big up to everyone who was on the panel. Big up to everyone locked in. Thank you guys so much. This stream is going to take you over to MHF where we are headed. And speaking of Forest, we're going to be cooking Wolfie's ass on that
Please,
stream as well.
yo,
Please, man.
There's
Deep fried that.
there's the content creator that I dislike more right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, and you can tell
Than
my
Wolfie?
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. That dude was so arrogant, so cocky, talked so much shit, and now look, and guess what? Next year they ain't sniffing. They're not sniffing Europe. So you had your chance. It's gone. This whole, oh, you look at you, man. Bruno wouldn't get into our team at Nottingham Forest. Shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, you could play this back from, I don't care. I'll say it to his face. I can't wait for them to be trash again. Because that's what happens when you get too big for your britches. You talk a bunch of shit. You talk down to everybody else because you got lucky in 1 year. You should have just been happy to be there. You know what? You should have just been like the Leicester fans who were like, listen, We're just happy to be here. You should have been like Newcastle, who were like, listen,
Yes.
we're coming, but we're not there yet. Instead, this man was out there being like, yeah, Forest, look at how we bought. Look at how we're playing football. We're so good. We're Nottingham Forest. Why would you'd want to come here to us before you go to United?
We're going to catch Arsenal.
Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, how do you not have enough wherewithal? How do you not have enough like introspection to you watch the league many times? We've seen these Cinderella stories. We've seen it happen every now. Look, Brentford a few years ago. How great were Brentford, right? Like, now all of a sudden, guess what? Look
Sheffield, who are in the championship right now, were in the top 7.
straight up. You look at Wolves a few years ago and all that. So I'm sitting there watching this guy cook everybody all smug and talking down to all our teams that have got heritage and history. Yo, Nottingham Forest history, won or whatever, 20,000 years ago. Shut up.
Anyway, guys, I love that rant. And I'm going to go say this shit to Wolfie's face now. So love you all. See you guys over at Time Chef. Big up all the super chatters.
Thanks for having me.
I'm
Great
be back
stream.
tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. time, inshallah, with LB Ashraf talking transfers and shit like that.
Yes,
And
man.
yeah, peace out, Habibis.
Peace, boys.
Bless.